Let's explicitly talk about mental health. How are you thinking about it for yourself, and then in the context of the family and students?
No, it's real. And our counseling center, which is called NIA, which is the Swahili word for purpose. We believe that every child is imbued by God with purpose, and part of our job as an educational unit is to help that child discern their purpose and then cultivate that purpose within them so they can contribute to the world what God gave them to contribute, right? So purpose is really important. And part of what comes out of the NIA Counseling Center is our resources that help with mental health. There is no question that before COVID, mental health was an issue in the community, as it is everywhere, right? And there's no question that culturally there are approaches and concerns and taboos associated with that. We have addressed it head on. We call. If we see things that concern us, if we see things with our students that concern, we reach out to parents and say, hey, this is what we saw. Is there something we can help you with? Mental health is not an indictment of a person. It's an opportunity for you to step in and help another person. So we have counselors on staff. We have a trained licensed social worker on staff and a clinician. She has her own practice, and she's great. We have pastoral care on staff, so if you need someone to talk to, if the way you address your mental health is by including your spiritual self in that conversation, we have someone who can help you with that. And we're not in any way sort of shy about it, right? So if you have depression, if you have bipolar disorder, if you have eating disorders, if you have an anxiety disorder, the saddest thing about having those concerns is thinking that you are somehow alone. And there are people all over the world who struggle with anxiety and depression and eating disorders and mood balance challenges. And our thing is, we know they're out there. We're willing to help. We don't see this as an impediment to your success. We see this as a challenge that can build your resilience so that you can have the type of life that you want to have.
That's terrific. Same kind of idea with the teachers as well.
Yeah. So one thing that we did last year, and this was right before COVID, we had, we survey our teachers and we say, what kind of professional development do you want? And like every year we get some of the same ones, like classroom management. Okay. Manage your classroom. Yeah. Okay. We get pedagogy. Right. All right. But last year, one thing that came through very clear was self-care. What can we do to help ourselves as teachers so that when we go into the classroom, whatever's impacting our life isn't transmitted to the student? And so one of the things that we did is we talk about, we bring somebody in to talk about self-care, or bring somebody in to talk about, exercise and breathing and all this stuff. And then I realized, why are we going to bring someone in to talk about self-care? Why don't we do self-care? And so we were really fortunate. In the Imani Christian Academy family, there are people who have connections to great resources. And Yoga Motif, or Yoga Motive, as it might be called, was able to come in and do a professional development with us, where we took all the staff who was able and willing, and we did an hour-long yoga session. And it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was soothing, it was tranquil, it was everything that you imagined yoga to be, but with all of the teachers and the administrators and staff. And it was an extraordinary way to build team.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I mean, there were people who thought like, I'm not going to be able to do this. Who can? And go like, I can do this. Yeah. Right? And that's the great thing about yoga. Like, no matter where you are, there's something for you. Yeah. Right? Be gentle with yourself. Do what you can. Don't worry about anybody else, and don't forget to breathe. That's right? And we did all of that, and it was amazing. And it just reinforced to me that we need to do less talking about self-care, and we need to do self-care as part of what we do as a school. So if it is, we need to go for a walk in nature, right? As part of our self-care, we need to do that. If we need to have a yoga session, we need to do that. If we need to have a group therapy session, if there's a challenging circumstance that happened during the school, we need to sit down and really sort of get it off our chest and talk about it, right? Then we need to do that. We need to stop talking about the theory of self-care and actually build self-care into how we care for our teachers in school.